In this lecture, we are going to discuss tool and techniques to prepare requirement document. What is a requirement document? That is an output of collect requirement. So we have different type of tool and techniques to prepare requirement document. One is data gathering techniques. So you gather data from many different ways. We will discuss in a very greater detail about data gathering and its different kind of techniques. Decision making techniques, data representation techniques, interpersonal and team skills, context diagram and prototype. So first we will discuss data gathering techniques and what different type of technique we can use to prepare requirement document. So in data gathering, first is expert judgment, second is focus group, third is brainstorming session, fourth is interviews, questionnaire and survey, benchmarking. So we will discuss everything one by one. Let's start from expert judgment. So expert judgment is made by the person or group who knows the subject. Expertise can be a group, means a team or an individual who knows the process and subject knowledge. Expertise can be a freelancer or within the organization or both. You can hire expertise and same time you can consult with a third party like a freelancer. Another one is focus group. Focus group is the kind of meeting or we can say same skill set of resource. They sit together and try to conclude or sum up on a specific subject. And most important, a well-trained moderator. A well-trained moderator will guide the group through a productive and progressive interaction, not one-to-one discussion, because discussion should not go out of context. This is the meeting of resources who has same skill set. Next one is brainstorming session. This is a technique used to generate and collect multiple ideas related to the project with the help of stakeholders. So in this technique, all required stakeholders come in the meeting and everyone is trying to give input in the meeting, and host will note down everything that can be required for the project. You have seen in your organization, your project manager generally call you in the meeting room and a brainstorming session conduct. So what you need to complete this process, your lead may say we need 3 or 4 servers to complete this process, and your project coordinator can say I need at least 10 resources. So these all requirements generate in the brainstorming session. Same as interview session. This process gather information from the stakeholders by talking to them directly like interview process. Question can be prepared earlier or instant. So you can record these questions as well. This process is good for confidential information. And who will be interviewee? The interviewee can be a one person or more than one. Like interview can be sponsor, high-level stakeholder, project manager, SME or other executive. So if in exam someone asks you why we take this technique to gather requirements, so your answer should be very specific. This process is good for confidential information, like in secret missions or the confidential data like health, like personal information, like your phone number, and you are going to do anything with that requirement. So few things that should be confidential according to the sponsor or your agreement. The another one is questionnaire and survey. In this process, you give questions to answer to your stakeholders. So you have seen in your real life, you may have received so many questions to answer in your organization, and you know what we do in the survey. And you have to answer those questions. Set of questions asked to stakeholder and useful data analyzed by SMEs or expertise or a project manager or can be a high level stakeholders. The last one is benchmarking. So you need to understand this is simply comparing between actual and plan. Plan means what you have expected earlier. Simple. Here we have seen other organization standards or practices and plan our activities to do something and make our own benchmark, because we cannot copy anything from any organization. We set our own benchmarks. Like when you plan to launch something, then you research and take reference from so many players and plan your own version. Why benchmarking is a better option? It helps to generate the ideas from the industries. Best practice you can see, and if still is there any something you can improve your process. If you have designed without benchmarking and you are doing benchmarking after your design, then benchmarking will help you to improve your process standard. So all these processes are mainly to gather data from stakeholders, like interviews help to gather data from stakeholders, same as expertise, focus group, and brainstorming, etc.